All right, welcome back. In our last explainer, we figured out what leanness really is. Today, we get our hands dirty. The science points to three core tools we can use to build a lean body. You've got high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. You've got resistance training, and you've got low-intensity steady-state cardio, which we're just going to call LISS. But here is the single most important thing to get right off the bat. These three types of workouts have very specific, very different jobs. The research is absolutely clear on this. They are not interchangeable. Using the wrong tool for the wrong job is probably the number one reason so many fitness plans just fizzle out. So, to make this all make sense, let's use this brilliant analogy from the source material. I want you to think of your body as a high-performance car. To get it running perfectly, you need three things, right? You need an accelerator, you need an engine, and you need a coolant system. Each of our three workout tools is going to play one of these exact roles. Okay, let's jump in, starting with our accelerator, high-intensity interval training. This is the tool you use when you want to create a massive metabolic effect, and you want to do it fast. Now, if you're not familiar with HIITs, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. We're not talking about a 45-minute jog here. We're talking about going all out, full throttle for a short burst, maybe 20, 30 seconds, then taking a quick breather, and then doing it all over again. Now, here's where most people get it twisted. They think HIIT is great because you burn a bunch of calories during the workout itself. And you do, for sure. But that's not its secret weapon. The science shows its real magic, its unique power, comes from what happens in all the hours after you've already hit the shower. And that magic is a little something called EPOC, which stands for excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. The best way to think about it is like creating a metabolic debt. The workout is so intense that your body has to work overtime for hours, sometimes even a full day, just to get itself back to baseline. And all that extra recovery work, that's what torches all those extra calories. And just look at the difference this makes. The afterburn from a typical jog, it's gone in a couple of hours. But study after study shows the afterburn from a real HIIT session can keep your metabolism cranked up for as long as 24 hours. That is the accelerator pedal slammed to the floor. So here's the key takeaway for HIIT. Its job in our plan is to cause the biggest possible metabolic disruption in the absolute shortest amount of time. It's the spark plug that ignites a 24-hour calorie-burning furnace, making it hands down the most time-efficient tool we have. Okay, let's move on. If HIIT is the accelerator, then what we're about to talk about is the engine itself. This is the most critical part of the entire machine, resistance training. And I really want to lean into this because the source material could not be more clear. If your goal is true leanness, meaning you want to lose fat but keep your muscle, this part is completely 100% non-negotiable. HIIT is a great tool, LISS has its place, but resistance training is absolutely essential. And here's why. We have to bust a huge myth. The main reason you're lifting weights or doing push-ups in a fat loss plan is not to burn a bunch of calories during the session. No, its real, irreplaceable job is to protect and build your muscle, which is your body's metabolic engine, running 24/7. And this sets off this amazing feedback loop. See, when you're dieting, your body naturally wants to get rid of both fat and muscle. But resistance training sends a loud and clear signal, hey, we need this muscle, don't touch it. And since that muscle is what basically sets your resting metabolic rate, the calories you burn just sitting there, protecting it keeps your metabolism from crashing. A higher metabolism just makes the whole fat loss process easier and way more sustainable. And if you're skeptical about how powerful this is, just look at this number. One study found that people who did just 3 11-minute resistance training sessions a week boosted their resting metabolism by 7.4%. That is a fundamental upgrade to your body's energy-burning system from just 33 minutes of work a week. That's the power of building a bigger, better engine. Okay, so we've got our accelerator with HIIT, and we've got our engine with resistance training. So that brings us to the last piece of the machine, LISS, or low-intensity steady-state cardio. This is our coolant system. And it's a totally fair question, right? You're probably thinking, okay, if HIIT gives me a way better afterburn and lifting weights protects my metabolism, then what's the actual point of a long walk or a slow jog? Why is it even in the plan? Well, its value is that it's not trying to compete with the other two. Its true vital purpose in this whole system is to be an active recovery tool. It's the support system that makes all the high-intensity stuff even possible. Think about it like this. HIIT and heavy lifting are stressful. They're tough on the body. You can't just do them every single day without completely burning out. LISS is the coolant. It gets blood flowing to those sore muscles, which helps clear out waste and bring in nutrients. It lets you move, lets you burn a few extra calories without piling on more stress. And that is what makes this whole high-performance plan sustainable in the long run. So now we get all the individual parts, right? We have our accelerator, we have our engine, and we have our coolant. Now let's put it all together and see how this high-performance machine actually works as a single unit. This table just lays it all out perfectly. You can see exactly how each piece of the puzzle fits its role. HIIT is the accelerator for that 24-hour afterburn. Resistance training is the engine that protects your metabolism. And LISS is the coolant that keeps you running smoothly. Each one has a critical and very distinct job to do. And this brings us right to the core finding from all the research. If you try to build this machine with just one part, it's gonna fail. A plan with only HIIT will burn fat, sure, but it'll also eat away at your muscle, which crashes your metabolism. A resistance-only plan is amazing for muscle, but it's not very efficient for fat loss. And a LISS-only plan, it just takes way too much time and doesn't have any of those powerful metabolic effects. They have to work together. So that leaves us with the big final question, doesn't it? We have the accelerator, we have the engine, we have the coolant, we know why each one is so important, but how do we actually put them together? How do we structure a week so we get the best of all three without them getting in each other's way? Well, that is the final piece of this puzzle, and in our next explainer, we are going to lay out the exact weekly plan to build this machine.